up, virtual people? Welcome to episode 70 of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2022. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, of course, our own honorary third host from Rick Barth and the Line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, he's one half of the creative genius behind Retro Fiend Radio, makers of the finest canon films and martial arts documentaries on the internet. Their newest doc, The Making of Invaders from Mars, is available on YouTube now. Dustin Nino's on the show.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for having me back. I love it. Love it.
So much for coming back. I downloaded a soundboard app on my phone and I forgot to whip it out, so everyone was supposed to have applause tonight, but they'll have it soon.
Please don't whip it out.
My phone, not God, this is terrible. Anyway, we're here today because Natasha Henstridge needs a man. She's in town with a few days to kill, and not enough men meet the high bar set by Alfred
That's
Molina.
the way they should have done the original trailer. Natasha Henstridge needs a man.
And then you flip it, right?
Alien,
That's
alien
kind of
character.
the way. That's the way the movie was sold to me, but we'll get into that. Because, folks, this world obviously needs Species V, the Quickening, and we're here to give it to you. But before we can suss out the perfect mate, we need to talk about how Species came into our lives and what we love about it. And for everyone watching the live chat, that means you too. How did you discover Species? We talking VHS, Laserdisc, cable, theaters? Hit us up in the live chat and let us know.
That's right, Bono. How did you come to this movie?
So,
wouldn't that be funny though? Think about that. You got Bono sitting there watching Species, like, oh, she's changed into a species. Oh, this is fascinating. Oh,
is that how Bono talks? Is that how Bono talks?
Oh, that's suspicious.
All of a sudden, Bono's played by Fat Bastard version of Mike Myers.
Have to make an album out of this.
He can't even formulate a sentence. It's just all phrases.
This is a great movie.
I'm Bono.
Yeah.
I'm sexy.
I want to watch a species.
Oh my God. See, this is when I need the laugh track. Good God, Dustin, do you remember the first time you watched Species?
You can't stop thinking about it.
I feel like it's gonna take over this episode. I can already tell.
Oh, Michael Madison, all sexy and everything. Oh, I like this. Hey, what's the
Suddenly Bono turned Italian towards the tail end of it. I like this.
I like it. What's the drummer's name? Flea or whatever?
What? Oh my God.
the drummer from U2?
Yeah.
It's Adam Clayton, right? Right? Or
it's
Adam
definitely
Clayton,
not Flea. You
Who's
said
the other
Flea,
guy?
and I was like,
definitely not Flea.
You know the guy that in the one music video, his feet, like girls' feet are like slapping his face and everything. Don't stare at me like that, people. You've seen the damn music videos, don't I? Oh, y'all staring at me like I hate everything. Oh,
Larry Mullen Jr. is the drummer. Adam Clayton was the bass player.
Whatever. The point is,
true.
Bono's sitting there watching Species 4, The Awakening, like, oh, great movie. This is a great sci-fi movie. Oh.
Like, it's sexy, Natasha Henstridge.
Oh, this is great sci-fi at 3 a.m. on a Sunday. Oh,
is he like watching this during like eating? Like it's like dinner time and he's like turns it on. So
it's not even Bono, it's Fat Bastard. Like it's blatantly just Fat Bastard.
Let's eat some
ridiculous
shepherd's pie. Oh, I love species. All right. Dustin, I'm sorry.
That gets the fart part of my soundboard that came in late. I don't know if anyone can hear that at home, but that's a fart.
That's genius.
Well, I'm trying to pep it up here. Step it up and pep it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to class up our show here by
he's got an iPhone soundboard.
Churching it up.
It took me months to think of that too. I was like, I need a soundboard for the show. How do I get it? Oh yeah, it's a fucking free app, I'm sure. Any rate, getting back
All
on
of a
topic.
sudden, you're gonna start doing the species.
Oh, I don't know if I have one of those. There's a million in here. I need to like streamline. There's too many, and I couldn't find.
DJ Chris.
Sci-fi.
DJ
the
Chris
fucking
on the
laugh.
ones
No,
and
like, I don't need a
twos.
laugh. There's a boo. There's a boo, but there's no laugh on the main page. What can you do?
Forrest, Alfred Molina. Wah wah. Pew.
No, Alfred Molina gets fucking raucous applause. That man
That
is an
sounded like
underrated gem of an actor.
That sounded like a turd. That sounded like I'm flushing a turd.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly I need to plug in my fucking speaker to this thing or something.
I
to
mean,
make it
I
loud
don't
enough.
know.
Well,
All
I
right,
tried. Anyway,
back to Dustin. We're sorry, Dustin.
back to Dustin. Yeah, we're
No,
5
I
minutes
don't
in.
know. Oh, you're
Do
fine.
you remember the first time you watched the 1995 masterpiece that is Species?
Species. I do. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've seen it all the way through. I just remember seeing it a bunch of times, always on HBO, late at night.
Absolutely. I feel like HBO did for this movie what nothing else could. Not even this incredible cast, but I feel like this is a movie that was like born to play on HBO.
Yeah. This is just definitely one of the movies that whenever it was on, you just definitely watch wherever it was at. And then they kind of blended together when there were. I think the second one would play a lot too, and it would just kind of like just both of them would sort of kind of blend together for me.
I can see that the first two with the mostly similar cast.
Yeah,
blending together a little bit, close enough in time as well. Now with Mickey,
And if he
I feel
fell
like
asleep.
with Mickey, I feel like it's a coin toss. Like half me wants to say it's HBO because everything's HBO, but then half me wants to say it was Mac Daddy Mickey Torres on a date to see Species.
No, I actually, it's funny. I got this DVD like free, and like I don't know if it was like I don't know.
You
If
didn't see this until the DVD era.
You paid way too much, sir.
I don't know.
Too much.
I think it came in like it came in like an Entertainment Weekly or some shit like that. Like I had like this free subscription from FYE to Entertainment Weekly, and they just kept on coming. And I think it was like kind of like a it had a like a little like paper, like wrapping, like whatever like that, and it was stuck in the magazine, and then like you opened it up and it was the Species movie. So
on what planet
did
they give away Species DVDs in a fucking magazine tear out?
I don't know. That's how I got it. I don't know.
That sounds like some bullshit you make up to someone to defend like owning a movie that like I'm sorry. I just like I can't even fathom this being real. I believe you. I do believe you. I think I can absolutely believe you because you're my man and I love you. But like shit, like what the fuck? Like
that's so funny.
Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. But that's how I saw it. And then like
Although
obviously,
I will say, I do remember at one point you could get like single episodes of shows on DVD with cereal boxes. Like that's how popular DVD became. They would be like, yeah, there's a like with a Golden Grams box, you get an episode of Step by Step, and I was like, I don't want to eat this cereal, but I love Step by Step. Like, shit, like it would be weird things like that. It was like the only Step by Step DVD you could get for a while.
In any event, that's how I got it. I got it through that, and I watched the movie, and I loved the movie. I thought it was great, and I like.
I was gonna say you broke Ian. I thought he was
sorry,
gonna go get...
I had to step away. I apologize.
And
no. I thought you were gonna come back with like a magazine tear out movie or something like that. Something to like back up this claim. I don't know why I expected that.
I will only accept if they ever gave me a free magazine copy with Enemy Mine in the sheets. That's the only one I would accept. Anything else, it's not worth it.
Well, so I saw it on that, and I loved it. And then Natasha Hendricks, how can you go wrong with that? And then like from that, I was just like, you know what?
Species 1 and 2. 3.
Yeah. Well, then I said like I watched this movie. Then I was like, oh, this is a great movie. Let me and then I just maybe was Googling it or whatever, and then I was just like, oh, they made a second one. Well, let me watch this, and it has Natasha in it too, and then like Michael Madsen. I'm like, oh, let me watch that, and I was like, yeah, this is this is a
You got
This is a
really
movie.
interested, and
This
then you
is-
lost interest.
yeah.
So-
I mean, this is a movie. Like I was literally like,
Yeah.
this is a movie, and like I was really like, and then like I mean, like I'm like, is she gonna get naked? I mean, I just want to see that, and then I was,
Aw.
I was
You
like,
Fast Time Species 2, you bastard. Don't
I mean,
be
like
that
I
guy.
watched the whole
Fast
thing.
Times.
I watched the whole thing,
Oh,
and
man.
it was all right. It was, but then that was pretty much it. From there, I was like, all right, I'm good. I've seen like Natasha's best work. I'm good with that. I'm like,
I worked at a video store in the
That's cold.
90s
That's
too,
ice
and
cold.
I think I pretty much remember running them too, possibly as well. I definitely remember just seeing like the box art constantly and the posters and stuff for them.
The Giger morph, you know.
Oh,
type of
Yeah, because all
picture,
the
of
Giger
course.
stuff was cool. Yeah, I mean it was always cool looking.
I feel
you know.
like this movie is like why we got Alien Resurrection, if that makes any sense. I
Oh,
was gonna say that
100%.
before we
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into it.
100%.
And
100%.
the
Yeah.
sort of success of this movie and sort of the class of the production. I feel like all these things contributed to, you know, getting Winona Ryder and Alien Resurrection, you know, all this stuff.
yeah, but I will
Mhm.
take this. I'll be controversial.
Oh, yeah.
I will take Species over that movie any day.
Oh
of the week.
fuck yeah, dude! Over Alien 3 or
I probably would
Resurrection.
take. I
Oh,
was about
yeah,
to say.
yeah,
I can
I'd
probably
take it over
AVP
AVP Requiem. Yeah, easily.
Yep. There's a lot. There's a lot
Yeah,
I
there's
would
a
take
lot,
over the. Oh,
for
the
sure.
first one definitely, and then even the second one, I probably would still take over those movies too.
And Ian's probably about to shit all over Species via his first time watching its story. But before he does, I do just want to throw a little trivia out there that this film was written by the great Dennis Feldman, who writes nothing but hit movies. The guy wrote Just One of the Guys. He wrote Real Men. What else? I was looking at cruising his IMDb earlier, and I was like, holy shit. He also wrote The Golden Child. And admittedly, I've never seen Virus from 1999, but I know that's like at least
Oh,
an
I forgot
A-level
about
film.
that.
I think I've seen like bits and pieces.
Sorry,
of it.
guys. Give me just one more second. I'll be right back.
Okay, so
I'm
I'll
so
tell.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, go. Yeah,
No
sorry.
problem. I will actually go to the live chat ahead of Ian telling his first time watching Species story. And if he's still not back, then we'll tell my
Meanwhile,
story.
like the Species has taken over his chair.
The species, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's left us with nothing but gigamorphs, as I call them. Anyway, I see some familiar faces or familiar names in the live chat. Angie Saunders, Mike Riffraff, a couple mashup geniuses, Jeremy Ledford of Nerdcore, Sean Gold of Gold's Code. We've got some hellos in there, some compliments of the shirt, of course. Every day is Miami and Species, Sean says. People are getting suckered at bars and clubs all the time. God, you know, I was kind of surprised they never did a Miami version of Species. It seems
That could be the
Yeah,
sequel.
or
A
like
Vegas
a
one?
New York,
A
you know,
Vegas
or
one.
something.
New York
Yeah.
seems like odd, like almost too obvious,
Vegas,
right?
dude,
And
an
like too
alien-
expensive
Right,
and
but that
problematic.
seems
in the
exactly
90s.
where it would go, though.
An
You know,
alien
you think
Vegas.
second one would
Wow, an alien
Vegas?
Vegas.
I'd go for that.
An
Yeah.
alien
Reno.
Vegas could
I
be a
would go for
showgirl, could
Reno.
be a prostitute, could be a lot of things there.
Yeah,
Making
Reno
babies
would
all
be
over the
fun
place.
too. I don't give a shit. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
So Jeremy Ledford says I watched it on HBO. Mike Riffraff says I only ever saw the first one and I saw it on VHS. Flea is from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Thank you
Yeah,
for that correction. Meg Klink says, "Give me a break, bud." So I
What?
assume that's
What?
Mama Klink. in the
That
live
is my
chat.
mom. What? What I do?
Mama Klink, we love you. And you know, ironically, this is the first time I've ever sent my parents the link the night of the show and be like, hey, if you want to tune in, because they called and I couldn't call them back.
Oh,
So
this
is
is
the
a great
worst
one.
episode for
This
all
is
of
a
our
great
viewers to be watching. I know, because this is like this is such a movie that we didn't want you to catch us watching when we were 10 years old. Let's put it that way. Or if we did, you would come into the worst scenes, right? Let's be honest. But Ian, do you remember the first time you watched Species?
I do. I actually, this was remember back in the day, like grocery stores had VHSs too, you know, like you know.
Yeah.
So I remember this is kind of in more of the last days of VHSs and starting to go away. So it wasn't in '95. This is like a couple years later. I picked it up at the North Scott Foods. I remember that.
North Scott Foods. Was that near the gas station with the pizza?
That's always near the gas station. But North Scott Foods, and I remember I walked there, I picked it up, and I could have gotten the Species poster. They had posters for sale for 25 cents. And I actually remember looking at it. I remember looking at it. I'm like,
25-cent posters.
yeah, man.
What
And-
fucking
and you
planet
didn't-
were you
and you
on?
didn't get
man?
it?
That's amazing.
Well,
That's
I know, but-
incredible.
Because it's got
Yeah,
Natasha.
I want to live in the world that you guys got free DVDs and magazines and posters for 25 cents. Like, Jesus Christ, I had to go to Spencer's Gifts and pay at least $9.99 for every
No,
poster.
yeah,
I
no.
ever got.
This was. I remember. I actually remember. You know what I remember the most, and Chris, you will appreciate this. I remember it at that store. They had Malibu Express, and I
Oh, God.
always wanted to see. I always wanted to
So
rent that,
good.
but I couldn't because I was underage, and they really would card you at this grocery store.
There's no
so-
law against rating. Technically, I think it's an R.
But then how did I get Species?
I'm just
How-
saying, there's no law that
bought it.
says you can't let
They weren't
kids into
carding
an
you,
R-rated theatrical film, or it's just like
I
every
guess.
theater's policy and every video store's policy and every chain video store's policy, of course.
But then I got
Uh,
Species at the store, so I
I'm
remember
sure you
I remember
probably
taking
put it in the
Malibu,
cart.
But
But I will
remember-
say,
I
my
remember taking
fucking
Malibu Express and them going like, "No, you can't have this." It's like, well, forget you, But I do remember I got Species and I watched it and I did enjoy it. I actually, this is during that period where I was really into sci-fi movies and it was a good movie actually. So
yeah, I feel like you
I'm-
really had to force that one out of you. Like, yeah, it was a good movie.
I think it's a good movie. I love this. Oh, we should take this on tour. I imagine
All right,
Bono's
well, I've
actually
covered
on,
I've covered
the way I'm
intros of the
doing it
line.
is Bono's on the toilet and he's
Yeah,
watching
exactly.
It
It's,
and he's
no, it's
watching.
totally not Bono at all. It's
It
Matt
is Bono, but
Bastard
he's like
from
on
Austin
his
Powers.
toilet in his like really expensive house, and he's like trying to squeeze it out, but he's watching Species on this TV in his bathroom. Like, oh, I love this movie.
It's Fat Bastard. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
Michael Madsen. Like, I got a couple
Exactly.
Reservoir
Think
Dogs
about this.
creeping down the trail.
But next time you're, in a place listening to Streets with No Name, you're going to be thinking about it in Fat Bastard's voice.
I'm
Fair
poor Mama Klink. I'm curious in the chat.
Fat
Was he doing
Mama
these
voice.
voices all the time growing up? Like, all us kids, we all did Ace Ventura to death. I'm sure our parents hated us at times for that. Just sitting there doing all righty thens to the end of time, arguing about who does it better. Oh my
Well,
God.
of course I talked out of my butt. We all talked out of our butts.
Exactly,
Mickey
right?
talked out of his butt. I mean, like, don't.
Well, I
just-
guess it's my turn to talk out of my butt then and tell you.
You
about the
always
first
talk
time
out of
I
your
saw
butt.
Well, it's it's just the shortest distance. Anyway,
From where? Like,
I don't know. Use your imagination.
no.
To my shit for brains. There you go. It was almost clever, and if I would have timed that better, it would have been quite the witty remark. Anyway,
Oh, I still
Um,
haven't
so-
found what I'm looking for.
so 10-year-old me, I'll never forget. It was a summer day in August, probably like today. I had just gotten back from sleeping over at my parents' house, and I was hanging with my friend who lived up the road, who's a year older than me. Shout out to David Lund, wherever you are. And he was telling me he was this kid who his dad had satellite. They had satellite at his house. So every movie that I ever saw in the 90s that like had boobs, like I got the heads up from him. Like, it's like, oh, Dream Trap with Christy Swanson, you gotta check it out. Like Ski School with the guy from Summer School, Dean Cameron, you gotta check it out. Like, oh, this
It's
movie,
funny,
you
you
gotta
know,
check it out. Like he
None
just
of us
'cause
were ever. I feel like none of us were ever that guy, but I feel like we all knew that guy.
I know,
Mhm.
right?
We always
I
knew
knew
that
I
guy.
be that guy. I
Yeah,
always wanted
yeah,
to be
no,
that
I
guy.
100% had a
I
friend
never-
that this guy same way.
I never
Yeah.
blatantly like this. I never blatantly said like oh you got to check this movie out, his boobs or whatever like that. I
Oh,
like I like to keep that to myself when I was watching these movies. I'm like, gotta watch this movie.
Oh, I highly
It's a good
endorsed like movies like Malibu Express and like the Night Eyes series when I was like 10 years old. I was like
Yeah.
going to school, be like,
Oh,
oh my
dude.
God, Night Eyes.
Yeah.
It's amazing and it's the best film of the year. Like I was literally like that kid. Like I was really into those movies. What can you say? Shannon Tweed.
Yeah.
I would just tell
Yeah,
I would just
and
tell
then
people like
please.
just turn on Cinemax after 10 o'clock.
See, that
Listen,
sounds
what I
worse.
mean.
when you
As
say
I
it
am.
like that.
I officially want Mickey to narrate every late night movie intro ever. Like I want you to go back and be the voice of HBO to introduce like Blown Away in '93. Like, please, dude. Like,
Can we do a
Corey
VCR up
and-
all night? Can we do a VCR up all night one night and Mickey's like the host? We all host different
Yeah.
movies or blocks or
Corey
something. Come on,
and Corey.
let's do
in
it.
A,
We got to do this.
Please.
VCR up all night. It would
in
be
a
amazing.
Basic Instinct ripoff.
Right.
Oh my god, dude, we should like fucking college kickboxers and like crazy shit.
Mm.
People
Yeah.
shit like
Okay,
Malibu
I'm-
Express. People can't handle it.
Nobody can handle
Yeah.
college kickboxer. That's
we
a-
can-
No.
Yeah.
Apparently, we can't handle Species because we keep not talking about it. So I'm gonna get us back onto
People
okay.
who made Species couldn't talk about Species. Like, let's be honest.
First of all, Dennis Feldman could and maybe would, or he should. I want to know what he has to say about it first.
Did he
of
do
all.
the second one?
I don't know if it's just a characters by credit or if it's like a full credit. Let me see. Species 2 is a characters credit, not written by. So
Who wrote Species 2?
well,
whoever
let's see
wrote
who
the Book of Love.
David Mamet.
Chris Brancato.
Chris.
Okay,
Chris Brown?
okay.
Chris
There's a
Brown wrote this?
species. There's a species, right? Okay, yes.
Chris Brancato,
species,
who's also
yes.
a writer from Narcos, First Wave, Godfather of Harlem. So he's done some really credible
I would
stuff.
watch a species
Um,
movie by David Mamet. That would be
Outer
cool.
Limits.
yeah.
actually.
God.
Okay,
Why-
fucking-
Fuck yeah.
Why
excuse
did
me,
they not
Chris
make-
Brancato of
Yeah.
fucking Beverly
What's
Hills
that Val
90210.
Kilmer movie?
God damn it.
Oh,
Dude's a
why
genius.
didn't
He
they-
wrote the Wild Horses episode.
Spartan.
Fucking
Why
Sex,
did-
Lies, and Volleyball.
Why did
That's-
they
that's
not
what you think
do
about
a
Spartan?
Species in Harlem?
Spartan. Yes.
Species in Harlem.
'Cause
Everybody else,
that
I
should
mean,
have been
Seagal
number
and
4.
Leprechaun were already there. They couldn't find a break between the two of them filming in Harlem. They were filming in Harlem so much that there was just no room.
Yeah.
No room for them to shoot in Harlem between all the fucking Seagal and Leprechaun movies. I swear to Christ.
Yeah.
They missed
the
but
boat.
and rightfully so, because I love all those movies.
They missed the
So
boat.
at any rate, 10-year-old me gets pitched Species, one of those movies you gotta check it out, blah blah blah. This girl's naked all the time. And I'm like, this sounds too good to be true. Like, this I don't believe, I
Exactly,
almost like
yeah.
think you're lying. And then sure as shit, I see it one day and I'm like, wow, this movie's like,
Wow.
this is exactly what he said it was. Like all these, he described this scene in the hot tub and then blah blah blah. Like, and I'm like,
For-
holy shit, this is great.
For a minute, you were
That's
thinking like he was like the movie trailers that we get that like, oh man, this movie looks like it's gonna be real good, and then we go see the movie and it's like, wait, none of
I
that
know, I
shit's
just like,
in
was
the
like
movie.
yanking my leg a little bit. I was just like, I mean, it sounds dope, but like, I don't know, you're probably full of shit. That sounds too good to be true. Then eventually, luckily my parents did have HBO. We didn't have satellite, but we had HBO. So eventually I caught it there. And I mean, what a, like I said, this movie was born to be played on HBO. And of
When
course,
you're 10 years old.
when you're 10 years old, you'll sit through 3 of these movies just for like 1 second of Natasha Henstridge topless, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like that was the
Mhm.
bait
Yeah.
to all of us 10-year-old boys, right? The movie could have been a big stinking pile of crap and we would have watched it just for that.
Yeah.
I'm
I like how
looking
you
at
said
you.
it's the bait.
Yeah, it's the bait. Like I'm looking at you, Chasers, starring Erica
the
Leniak.
movie could have been
Ooh.
a stinker. Could.
Yeah, no, but it said, but it's one of those movies that's actually really good. I mean, first of all, I cannot believe they got this cast. No disrespect to the script, it's very well written, but it's a very strange movie to get
Yeah.
fucking Ben Kingsley,
Ben Kingsley.
Michael
Ben Kingsley.
Madsen,
Yeah.
fucking
Oscar
right off of
Award
Reservoir
winners.
Dogs.
Yeah. Forrest Whitaker. Yeah.
Forrest fucking Whitaker, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
Alfred Molina,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
top shelf production across the board.
I was gonna say, besides
Yeah.
Michael Madison, all of them are pretty much either Oscar winner or Oscar nominated.
And it's
Nothing
amazing
easy.
because, and I'm not throwing shade
And
by
none of
saying
them
this.
starred in The English Patient.
I'm not throwing
How
shade by saying
dare
this,
you.
but it's from the writer of Just One of the Guys and the director of Cocktail, which I think is absolutely a
See?
thing to be
That's
celebrated.
why it's so good. That's why it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's great. Right. It's
Fucking Cocktail
it's
rules.
yeah. The first one's like everything it needs to be. You know, it's
Definitely.
exactly what you want it to be, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, they're all honestly like they're all fun in their own ways. Yeah, they're all progressively worse for the most part, but yeah, the
Yeah,
first
that's
one's
fair to say.
definitely just.
But I
the
would
most
argue, I
fun.
don't think story wise it gets worse. I don't think script wise they get
No,
worse. I
they're
think
all
it's
solid.
just budget.
No.
It's
That's-
just they
yeah,
took away-
yeah.
you know the
right.
third one. You know, for those of
Oh,
you that don't know, the first 2 were theatric. Wait,
And
was
then they
2
went-
was 2 straight to
2 is a
video?
theatrical movie.
Yeah, I
Theatric.
understand.
And then they went straight to DVD, right?
but not straight.
Basically.
No, it went straight to Sci-Fi
Sci-Fi.
Channel.
Right. Three
Yeah,
is okay. 4 is actually looks better. Story-wise, it's kind of shittier, but like it actually looks better. And
well, they're both
and
early HD video productions, I think.
Right. So, like the technology gets better, but like the story gets shittier, which is like interesting to see. You're like,
That's a fair way of putting it. The way I would quickly describe, 2 is like Mickey was like, this is a movie, and I'd be like, this is a movie, and it's like almost a species movie. Like it's really close to being a species.
It's a species movie.
Well, they made a new species. They made a new species.
Yeah, I guess it is. That's fair. It is. Ironically,
all I know is that they tried that astronaut. The one that the one who went to Mars and comes back. They wanted that guy to be a star.
Oh, for sure.
You could
but
tell.
he was not a star.
You could tell.
It's literally literally. I don't think he ever did anything. I mean, he probably did something
Peter
else,
North.
but nothing that he looked like Peter North. Pretty much.
Yeah.
He might have been Peter North.
That actor,
for a second.
That actor is that band that releases that song that America wants to be a #1 hit. They want that band to succeed, but there's just no way possible.
Right. Yeah.
And your friends keep saying, "Hey, don't you like that band?" No, I don't. But they're so good. Come on, like he could have been
like Chris O'Donnell. They really wanted that guy to be the next.
Yeah. And then he ends up in CSI and goes to die there.
Right.
That's basically it. I mean, like it's like and
they go to species to die. I hate you,
because that's
CSI. Yeah.
Because.
Thank God of all the shit that we didn't get, and I know we're not pitch time yet, but I just want to be thankful.
You become grandma's favorite actor.
That we didn't get in like a early 2000s USA series where it's like Species CSI, where she's solving crimes every week. Like that would have been terrible.
Awesome.
No, that would have been terrible.
That would have been so funny.
Awesome.
That is so funny.
Awesome. That would have been like so awesome.
Like a Small Wonder type of show, but with like
she's living a regular everyday normal
life. Right.
Alien crimes all
they
night.
missed the boat, man. They really should have made like Alien in LA or a Species in LA.
Oh, Alien from LA.
They missed the boat. They missed the yacht with that idea, man.
They could have made they could have made that TV show. And like
or like Alienation. She's like a detective, that's all.
Oh my God. Okay, I will say this. The plot of Species 2
was good.
I actually think could have been a TV series. Where they're using her as the hero to help.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean that it could
I know what you're saying. My only issue with that is that what was so fun about the first one is Natasha Henstridge watching her walk around as a predator was crazy. You have this duality of her being super hot and then her sort of just being like a psycho in the first one. The second one, she just locked up the whole time, and she didn't get free until the end. And I thought that just seems like they kind of had her on ice until they needed to use her. And the telepathy type of shit,
and
or whatever.
That is the plot of Jurassic World.
Pretty much.
Is it?
They had the motherfucking T-Rex just hanging out there the whole time, and then all of a sudden she goes, "Oh wait, we got T-Rex over there. Maybe we should let him out."
Pretty much.
Gosh. That movie must have been utterly forgettable because I don't remember that aspect of Jurassic World. I mean, I saw it once or twice.
It was literally like I hate Jurassic Park.
You hate the whole franchise.
I hate the whole franchise.
Yeah, you're mostly alone with that one. But I get it. There's lots of popular shit that I don't like. I love the first movie. Jurassic Park is, I think, a classic.
This Green Goblin here, sitting there in his teeth, hates Jurassic Park, but you're gonna praise Species 3? Forget you, Mickey.
I didn't praise Species 3.
Species 2. Sorry, I forgot. My bad. I know there's a huge difference between the two. Freaking Slash.
You get your band members right.
I like this band. Make it happen. Oh, I love this band. Oh, it's great.
There it
Oh,
is
I love
again.
the Quickening. Oh, number 4 is the best.
The Quickening.
I will say this. The only thing though, time has not been kind to the special effects at the end of Species. And I think here's the problem. They have such good
No.
makeup effects up until the ending where all of a sudden it's that, almost it's the mid 90s. Like, we're not going to spend the money for Jurassic Park kind of special effects, but we're going to have like the Mummy Returns special effects. We're going to go with the third company that gave us a quote, kind of special effects. Like, it's pretty bad.
Mhm. I know
You're
what
like,
you mean. Yeah.
You're liking this movie to like, yeah,
It's
I
very
need to
90s
get some
special effects.
blinds installed.
Yeah, like,
For the
it's
most
just-
part, in the first
Yeah.
one, things were done pretty much the right way. They made use again. The tools
Yeah.
at the time were so limited. Like
Right.
in some ways, I feel like Species, if it was made today, the CGI wouldn't be any better than it is in the first film. Like, I feel like
it
in
would
some,
probably be worse.
Nah, I think it'd be way. I mean, like,
there are new
but that's the-
techniques and all kinds of new shit, but like ultimately,
it's
it's
not
like a
its fault.
simple. It morphs. Like, other than that, it should be
Well,
practical.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
It's not its fault. I mean, like, I love Lost in Space. This came around the same time, and those little spider things don't look that good now compared to where it was going. It was the
Good.
mid 90s. So I'm not.
The Lacey Chabert Lost in Space?
Heck yes! Oh my gosh, with William Hurt. Take my money now.
that's
and
2
my
hours of my
heart.
life I want back. That's the only part of 1998 I actually want back. The rest of it, you guys, the rest of it can exist in the past. But that 2 hours is what I want back.
No,
with
first
you.
off, you shut up. Secondly, you shut up. Dustin, back me up here, man. Like,
I'd
Lost in
watch
Space
and
is-
gladly will watch every Lacey Chabert Hallmark movie instead of that. Lacey
Oh,
rules.
I would.
But,
Lacey's
that
awesome.
movie.
Now, damn it,
Sorry.
that's what we need. Species Christmas story. Like, that's what we need. Are we
Ooh,
pitching yet?
a very species Christmas.
A very species
New York.
Christmas. We need to mate and find the true meaning of Christmas. That is
Oh, I love it.
that's the movie that we need.
Well, so wait a
Yeah.
minute.
So Lacey
the-
Chabert gets divorced, and she goes
12
to
nightclubs, 11 motels, 10
Like-
stolen cars.
Right.
she gets
Right.
she gets divorced,
Christmas.
right?
One alien baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
And,
A savior will be
and all of a
born.
sudden she goes to Alaska, right? On a yacht.
Juno?
Yeah, and at this very Christmassy moment where she's looking up at the stars, saying, "I wish I had my husband," the species thing falls into it.
Ooh.
All right.
What?
What if she was a boxcar hobo instead? Just throwing it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she
Ooh.
rode the trains, like just trying to figure out life and
think
stuff.
anybody could ruin a Hallmark Christmas movie, but your suggestion just took a big shat upon everything that we built up here, sir.
Oh, you're saying
And
the
I take it-
people of Hallmark don't respect the transient population of boxcar.
Sir, I knew
heroes.
Jack Kennedy. You, sir, are no Jack Kennedy. But the point is,
wow.
all right, the point is that Lost in Space is a good movie. You all don't know what you're talking about, and that's okay. We're friends. On with the pitches.
All right, it is pitch time. We're starting to throw the darts around. I do again, I want to say it looked like there was a pitch coming in the chat from Sean Gold, but then I didn't see the pitch, or maybe it's up higher. MK2, chime in, let me know if he did actually pitch. But at any rate, so I always like to start with the versions of it that I'm glad we didn't get. So as much as it's tempting for me to say, what would the Quickening version really be? Like the Highlander 2 type sequel? It's like, I actually kind of almost want that.
That actually would be kind of
like almost want something that like takes it and just throws it in a whole fucking
species.
way new
I mean, we already
direction.
had a species versus species, but
yeah,
you could do something. I'll be honest. I was thinking about this today, and I thought, the whole point of this is to, for her to mate, or whatever the species is to mate, right? Like that's the whole like drive of the whole thing. What if it's what happens in a world where everybody has a disease, right? I don't know if this could even go anywhere, if it even would, but if everybody had a bloodborne disease, would the species not survive? Would it have a reaction? Because there's that great scene with
Coronavirus.
well, but seriously, like there's that scene with the diabetic, and it's like you're impure, it doesn't mate because of that issue.
Well,
the
first one, it's because of Forrest Whitaker's sickle cell that they replicate that and then spray all the egg pods, and it's like,
no, that's the second one, isn't it?
Or
Yeah,
the second one.
That's McKenny Williamson.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's what they do in the well. Okay, sorry, I got confused there, but yeah.
Forrest was in the first one.
Yeah, Forrest in the first one, which again reminds me, the interesting thing I think about the first species is it is one of those like 90s star maker roles. Like overnight, everyone knew who Natasha Henstridge was. She became a household
almost
name.
like Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil and Fifth Element.
I guess.
Well,
again,
I mean,
overnight success is always 10 years in the making, right? I'm sure Natasha Henstridge was like probably modeling and doing all this stuff. But it is like kind of one of those roles to me, like Mystique, where you can sort of be a model. You don't have to be like a crazy thespian to like act awkwardly, just act like you've never talked to this fucking person ever before. Act like this is the weirdest conversation of your life,
Like Matilda May and Life Force, or
Yeah, there you go. Oh gosh, yeah. Toby Hooper just fucking doing cocaine and killing Cannon. Just like that's a fucking mini
casting her. It's like,
oh
yes, yes. Tell me about it.
Well, sometimes you make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I guess sometimes you do.
Clearly, from all four of us doing this episode.
So who wants to fire some first shots?
I don't know. We already had a species versus species, so you which was 2. I don't think you can really go for that. We already had the government, is going to take over. The government's not what we trust with the awakening.
The idea though of what you're saying of like, let's see what happened to the species planet, before they had to send their DNA here. Somehow work that into their narrative. They must have some sort of memory or collective past, or do some flashbacks to see what happened before their planet got destroyed would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always like, that's kind of one of those places other than Hawaii that I always want to go to. Like I always want to go to like the planet of the bad guys, or the planet where the things came from, or the planet like like go to space. Like I always want to go there right away. And Ian's like, well, you got to wait till like 4 to go to space.
Well, yeah, you have to. They
kind of did on the second one.
They went to Mars, but that wasn't their planet. Their planet wasn't Mars. They just had dropped an organism there that froze, and then it thawed when they brought it on board.
Like I wouldn't mind doing something like if they set it way into the future, or well into the future enough, something like a Prometheus
species,
right? Something, where there's this archaeological team that they're like looking on Earth, and they're digging stuff up, and they find maybe that oil, because the first one she was buried underneath all that oil, and sort of like the labrador tar pit.
That's cool, actually.
Resurrect her, and they. Right, and they bring back her DNA or something like that. But you could do it well into the future, where you can do like some sort of political commentary, where maybe the United States has gone so far right and so far left, where it's this sort of ultra quasi Quaker Christian conservative states versus this solar punk hippie sort of far left existence, and they're battling with each other. Now, what would be interesting if you did something like if you they brought her back, Natasha Henstridge still, blah blah blah, and the trick would be that she finds out somehow they figure out that actually males are better hosts for the babies because they come out stronger and resistant to any sort of disease. So she impregnates all the males. But all the males that live in far right states, now they can't get an abortion anymore. So they're forcing themselves to carry these babies to term inside of them, these alien babies.
Oh,
so they don't want to get rid of them.
Fuck, dude.
So now it's sort of
like
a Handmaid's Tale sort of esque. Now they could have caught themselves up, and they're going to carry these things to term. All while they do that, it's just going to be this bring on destruction. and there's this war between these sort of clashing factions of, people need to, eradicate the aliens or figure out a way to work with them. Now, if you weave in some sort of flashback with her connecting with the previous alien civilization, and she could even be some sort of like cult leader, that they just constantly, she impregnates them and type of things, and being sort of weird and interesting and Giger-esque.
Yeah, I feel like this is like Giger without strings. These movies, like, there were the designs. It was sort of like Alien feels like it's Giger, but it went through some filters. This feels like a little bit more unfiltered Giger. Like, you have these biomechanical xenomorphian, Gigermorphian things and these like underwater electric flashes of love scenes. Like, it's really strange, but that's totally Giger. Like, that's like every one of his paintings.
Like, that's like
it kind of remind me of what's that? Jeez, my mind's blank. That movie with it's set in the future in space, and like they kind of flash back to like
every sci-fi movie ever. Like, come on, Dustin.
They flash back to like hell and shit.
It's got
the dude from Lord of the Rings in it. Fuck, man. It reminded me of that movie. Event Horizon. Event Horizon.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. The flashbacks and flash forwards is sort of like you were getting
at least that was
different flash in time type of shit.
At least that was some interesting shit that could be really good. I mean, my only suggestion is maybe do like a Jason versus Species or something like that. Like,
well,
what?
Instead of AVP.
So all the species go to camp for the summer. And
go for summer.
I mean,
and there it is. Every time a species mates,
I would watch that.
Here comes Jason to kill them, because you can't.
Remember, Jason
sex.
X was in space. If you bring back Jason X, he's in fucking space, and a fucking species is out there.
You can't do that until you get to Species X. We're only halfway there.
I think Dustin's idea is actually really kind of cool.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
That's an actual idea. Like, mine is not an actual idea.
Right, I know.
Well, the only thing I can think of is, not that I want to go to like a Sci-Fi Channel version, like number 5 being a sci-fi, but again, I always like to be a realist about it. It probably would be like a Sci-Fi Channel original or something, something like that. But I think it would be interesting if, and it might be too similar to Alien, but I thought if you have that future approach where, it's on an alien ship, but there has been some mutation over time, like humans left because we're so contaminated. Our blood has a very different, thing to it now. And basically, when this species now ends up on the spaceship and they start, mating, that what is created is an enemy against both sides. So in essence, they create the babies that they create because of our, toxic levels and all this stuff, plus the species level. It creates a super baby that's like deadly, like, an even worse mutation. So now you have to use the species, and humans have to work together to solve this new eradication. And I'm almost like mixing Dustin's idea of, in a very, I guess, pro-feminist kind of approach, if the men are having the babies, right? Like I think all of us men who hear that having a baby, you're thinking of something in our body and coming out and all this stuff. It's like, it's, which again is very interesting for our times and what we're going through. I love that politicalness.
I love that too. And I would like, because I was thinking of going political in a different way, but I would even throw this one wrinkle into what Dustin was pitching, because I love it so much. I'm like, that's no way to top that. That's like RoboCop good. But what if
that's all that you're saying, 3 good?
Well, we're not going to get into the descent of the RoboCop series here today.
Yes,
but needless to say, it is worthy of comparison to the Descent of the Species series, because the second one is like almost a species movie. The third one is like almost a movie, and the fourth one like almost kept me awake. But So I think the key to a species movie is a lot like the key to a Predator movie, because I was thinking about this a lot lately. Like, why do certain Predator movies work and certain ones don't work for me? I think the key to a Predator movie is to take a movie that's good enough on its own and then drop it in a Predator movie, right? And that's why people are always going to love those first two, because you would watch like an urban crime, like mystery thriller with Danny Glover, and you would watch a jungle action movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yet they both are good enough on their own, and then they also have this cool thing. And I think that's the key to a species movie. Because that first one, like, you'd watch a movie about an empath and Michael Madsen and Alfred Molina and Ben Kingsley chasing just about anything, you know? But then you also get this cool sci-fi stuff. So I think, you know, what you figured out, Dustin, is that really works. But the wrinkle I would add to it is, what if that all happened way in the future, but it's on a United States controlled colony on their planet? What if we've actually colonized their planet? Like, and we skip beyond that. Like, you don't even need to see that war. I mean, you could eventually run up to
like Elon Musk got us to Mars. You can live on Mars.
And I think, like, from a practical standpoint, like with the way, Blue skies on Mars. But from a practical, or it could be a battle for Mars. That would be an interesting way of doing it too, actually, Mickey.
Mission to Mars.
Yeah. The Mars power station. But I think that would be kind of a cool way to do it.
You say you want 2 hours back from Lost in Space, but you sat through Mission to Mars. You horrible creature, Mickey.
No, I didn't say what. Mission to Mars. What is that? That's the John Carpenter movie? I don't think I've even seen that.
That's Ghost to Mars.
That's
Ghost to Mars.
That's Ghost to Mars.
Mission to Mars saw that.
Mission to Mars was Brian De Palma. No, that's Red Planet. Listen, you bastards, get your sci-fi straight.
You can't even get the drummer from U2 straight, man.
That drum for you too, sexy.
I'm Moon. You know, I'm the Moon guy.
I'm drumming away with my drums.
I love the drums. Oh, spacious. Oh, you know. But
what about the Edge?
That's the guy. That's what I'm
the
thinking.
guitar player.
It's the guitar player.
Yeah. He always has like the Meg hat.
Guitar, drum, whatever. The point is, the guy was in the music video with feet in his face, and you all were there. Anyway, the point is, Dustin, that's Red Planet. Mission to Mars is the one with Brian De Palma, and freaking Ghost to Mars is the one with Ice-T. God dang it, people.
Wait, don't you mean Ice Cube?
Same thing.
Oh my God. Dude, Car Shield would heavily disagree with you, first of all. Let me just say that.
They both are frozen. The point is, that
oh, this is so good.
This is a track. I love it.
Oh, Ice Cube. Oh, Ice-T. Well, who cares?
Wait a minute. He was working towards a
Val Kilmer.
Did he bail? What was the point? You're like, the point is, and then
I don't remember now. The point.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
The point is that.
Oh, dude.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about species.
Jesus Christ. So do you bring him?
Oh, spacious.
Just stop. Dustin had the best idea.
We can just end it fucking 12 minutes early, because Dustin already hit it out of the park. There's no more point continuing.
I told Stiles earlier when he asked me, I just want to say, when Fandom Spotlight asked me on, I will watch Species 1 through 4, so the rest of you at home don't have to. So, you know.
Although I suffered with you, my friend.
Thank you.
The real hero of this episode is Tubi for having all 4 Species movies available for free instantly.
I love Tubi. Tubi is like the best.
I wish I could pay for an ad-free version of Tubi.
Tubi is that magazine subscription with the free Species DVD.
That's great.
Right.
I just watched the 1976 documentary on the Loch Ness Monster where they had a fish fin in it. I was great. Like I love Tubi.
This is what this guy's watching. He's
right.
Meanwhile, he's sitting there telling me that my movie choices aren't good. But he's watching a documentary on the Loch Ness Monster.
Like, what's wrong with you guys? Like,
the battle for the soul of VCR Redux is going to be Ian versus Mickey in a death match.
That's your argument? It has Matt LeBlanc? Like that's like supposed to be like, oh my god, I gotta go
Sir,
see this now.
Name one movie that hasn't been successful with the man. He's
Ed,
only
the
been
fucking
in
baseball movie.
Ed was a huge hit at the time.
Really?
Look at the numbers, sir.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Ed
numbers.
was a huge hit. That
The only
So
number
what with
I
the
remember
monkey?
was 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs up.
I mean, it
sir.
might have done well because you kept on going to the movies to see this movie.
The point, the man's only been in 3 movies, but
I'm
they've
just
all
saying.
been hits.
No,
If
they
Ed is
haven't.
here. Dunstan checks in is over here.
Even Lost in
think.
Space was
That's
not a
check
hit.
it. That's a species movie I want. Give me a species and a monkey in a movie. That's what I want. BJ
But
and
wait
the
a minute.
species.
Can the alien
Gorilla.
and the monkey be like partners and they can talk to each other?
Actually, okay, let's think about this. All right, let's think about this, right? Hold on.
Ooh, a Russian chimp that got sent to space
Boom.
comes back.
If we're similar
And it's
to
like
the,
Planet of the Apes.
oh my god.
species.
Can you imagine if those species like
Oh.
monkey species?
See that? And like, you know,
Mm.
and then like Caesar can talk to like the species, and the species like is trying to he's trying to mate with him.
I
And
just
he's
need
like-
Charlton Heston to be like, "You damn tentacle fucking beasts!"
Yeah. Yes, we bring him back.
Bring back Heston
just
from the
just to
grave,
say
man.
something like
You
that.
deepfake
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
well-
totally do the CGI
Dig
hologram
him,
version.
dig his
of
old
him.
bones up and puppeteer him. God damn it!
But,
Yeah.
but you know, but
Make,
Mickey, you
give
had,
it like an Omega Man vibe.
oh Mega Man. But Mickey, you had a good point. Or not Mickey. Which one are you? The one with the bad, Kyle or Stiles, son of a. Anyway, the point is, what? Stop making fun of me. My wife's
He
making
keeps
fun
working
of
to
me.
a point.
I mean,
And
you can't get our name straight. You can't get like, you know, the guitar player from U2. He's talking about the drummer from U2.
First off,
Ice T is in Ghost from Mars.
back off, Ted.
I thought you were actually
Anyway.
about to say Ice-T's and Ghostbusters because that would have been like even juicier.
That would have
and I
been a
would watch
great. That would have been a great movie. You know,
I
do
would
these
totally-
traps, man. F you. Like I'm. Like,
I would totally
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
a Ghostbusters spin-off if it's like we see them in New York and it's Miami, and I know we're doing Species, but I'm just saying it's Ghostbusters,
Ice-T.
Miami Ice, it's Ice-T, Ice Cube,
Yeah.
and Vanilla Ice, all as
Dude, yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yo,
Um,
listen, y'all motherfuckers seen these spectral motherfucking trains, locomotives out this bitch? You know, oh yeah, dude, for
If
sure.
there was a
dude.
problem, yo, they'll solve it.
Yeah, yeah,
Tagline.
Oh
Tagline
my
attached.
god.
At me right now, Ivan Reitman. I know you need more ghosts. I know you need more ghost dollars.
but
Go
you,
ninja,
but,
go ninja, go.
So I did have a different species pitch actually, though. I'm sorry.
all right, go.
Ian, were you
No,
about to?
go for it. Go for it.
So I was thinking of getting sort of political, and not like in an exploitative way, but I was just sort of thinking like, all right, we've seen the male version, we've seen the female version, we've seen this stuff. We actually haven't seen something that's sort of relative to today. We haven't seen the gender fluid version of these creatures, and maybe that's what they are on their home planet. Maybe we don't even know. They might change sex like frogs do, you know?
Interesting.
Right, right, right.
and
I was
that
thinking
could
something
be-
like that too.
And I
Yeah.
thought it would be cool if like a gender fluid version was somehow the hero because it didn't need the opposite sex to reproduce. It could reproduce on its own if it wants to, but
Right.
maybe they maybe it can't. Either way, like I thought
Right.
that could be an interesting character to follow.
Right. And then you
maybe a
get
set- yeah.
Jeff Goldblum to come in from Jurassic Park, and he says,
Amazing.
"Nature finds a way, Mickey."
Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
is the perfect
Listen.
choice to be the new Ben Kingsley. You gotta
All-
bring Michael
Yes.
Madsen back.
Yes.
Like Preston
I-
Lennox.
Yeah.
I will say that your pitches are great and this and that, but like I'm like, you know, I'm a loose sci-fi fan. I can't even say loose sci-fi fan. I like some sci-fi, but not a lot of sci-fi. So like
Well, you
probably
had
would
me
not
at loose.
I probably would not even watch these pitches or whatever like that. I
Well,
would
they
just
should make it like The Fly too. Really, is like what they should have done with Species, or
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Audio.
guess they.
Well, I mean, kind
I
of.
feel like that
mean,
species
kinda
isn't it-
3
did.
is sort of like the Fly 2.
3.
But
Yeah.
but
3.
species 1 was kind of the Fly too. I mean, you know, this little
Yeah.
kid's inside this thing and they're trying to get rid of it and it breaks out. And
yeah, that was a weird subplot that they never really like. It always felt like they they brought it in when they needed it last second, and they brought it back out. Like I forgot about them. Him, he was like stockpiling those kids in the house for a while.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, and then you're
those
like, oh,
kids
the
are still in
pause.
the house right now. They never
right, yeah, exactly. They very well could be. There's so many of them, and then they disappear whenever.
They also forgot about like the rules, like the kid, like Michelle Williams in the first Species needed to eat like a shitload of food to like store energy before the cocoon. Like they should have had this guy just fucking like stocking up on just food to throw all these kids. There's just been food wrappers all over that place.
Oh,
but, like,
she's eating before she does the cocooning. Oh.
Oh, you got a little bit of whatchamacallit on your chin.
I almost see like I almost see like the Jeepers Creepers like little area, like they're just like they're all like up on the wall and shit like that.
They're on the wall,
Get the old people from Cocoon, and they now have powers. Like Don Amici fighting off the speed. Oh
yeah,
I like most of them dead.
They're all dead, but
Wilford Brimley.
But Jessica Tandy and like Don Amici and that whole cast just gold. Wilford Brimley, well, I don't know what their deal is with these aliens, but I'm sure gonna kill them.
Jessica Tandy's dead. When did Jessica Tandy die?
Like 70 years ago? Like what do you mean?
The Carter administration, I think.
God, I love her. Yeah, like right around the Driving Miss Daisy years.
Man, if you could do a mashup with Species visiting the old folks in the cocoon home or popping out of the cocoon or whatever, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
It's called it's Species. It's Species, the cocooning.
And then get John Cusack.
Brian Dennehy in there.
They get John Cusack to introduce the movie like he did in Say Anything. He's like, we're gonna watch a movie called Cocoon, and it's about some old people.
I mean, who are we kidding?
Just like you.
There's only one fucking character in cinema history that could hold his own against any variant of the Species. We know goddamn well it's fucking Pootie Tang. Pootie Tang cannot be stopped. Pootie Tang cannot be beat.
I was gonna say, honestly, I really thought for a second there you were gonna go down the Nicolas Cage route, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
I would watch that. Cage.
I would watch, but the problem is it's not good enough for Nicolas Cage.
Well,
it is if you have them face off. If you have them swap faces.
Yeah. It's not good enough for Nick Cage.
What?
Ghost Rider was good enough for Nick Cage, but like a new Species wouldn't be good enough for Nick Cage.
Oh, okay. Shots fired. And
he'd do anything. That guy doesn't even read the scripts anymore. He just reads the checks.
I disagree with you. I think that guy goes overboard. I think he's got journals for every character he plays that he's written out, like freaking 7.
Like he's doing all the fucking research for Sorcerer's Apprentice and like National Treasure.
I swear to God, he's got
he probably 5 journals. You're probably right. But you know what? That is one of those guys that like he walks on screen and no matter what the circumstances are, you're glad to see him. So
now, would you bring back Michael Madison though? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I would.
I would love to have a Michael Madison like showcase. Because I thought like Hellride, I thought was gonna give me that, and it lied to me.
Now you gave me the just a great mashup. Michael Madison on the cover of Billy Madison. Just Michael Madison has to go back to school.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be great if he's sitting there with like the chopped ear sitting in the desk, like just razor blade.
Oh my god, fucking classic. But I love it. Yeah. You get names about as well as most of my Midwest real. It's a thing in the Midwest, like I swear. Everyone out there thinks Antonio Banderas is like Andy Bandero. It just happens. No shade. Actor. I'm from the Midwest. He's a great actor. So I don't know. We're just about out of time. Is there anything else?
He's a great actor. Oh, I love him in that. I love him in this.
Is there anything else we could?
We need to go sing a concert and raise charity. Oh, and while we're doing it, watch Spacious.
I don't know. Is there anything else?
I'm sorry to our audience. I know they're gonna just be like, "This is the stupidest show that Ian has ever been on."
would
But-
lose my mind and like literally like just lose my shit if the next U2 concert that happens, they have like TV screens and stuff like that behind them usually, and they're playing Species.
Oh my God, that would be the best.
If they did that, I would stop. I give up. I give up.
Mickey would just throw his
to
keys
the cab.
away, lock the door, like he's done.
I'm like, the world has ended.
I'm gonna go
It-
hide in a cocoon and
Ian predicted
I'm just
that
picturing them,
Bono
you know,
is
like,
a Species fan.
right.
hello.
These are just like so many
hello.
great '90s monster movies like Relic and Mimic and
Oh yeah,
Species.
Mimic was
Species
great.
I
kinda
will say
kickstarted
that.
that.
There was
That's
this
what I
roll of
thought.
just
Mimic.
awesome. Yeah,
I used
Mimic
to
was
confuse
great. They
those
should've-
two. Mimic was good. I actually liked Mimic.
Yeah.
That was,
that got shit on. The Guillermo del Toro that got shit on by the studios.
yeah.
They cut that all up. That's a whole sad tale. But
Well,
yeah,
I feel
Relic.
like
that's a Michael
Species
Madsen
2.
one, right?
I said I feel like Species 2 was definitely one of those studio interference movies that felt like it was chopped
Yeah.
to bits by a studio.
Oh.
Yeah, it felt very
Threads,
Die Hard
like you
too.
forget about like you literally forget about the kids for like a long time. I'm sure there was more with that,
I totally
or-
forgot about him. Yeah,
you know, or
Yeah.
David Cromwell's death would have been sooner. But at any rate,
I mean, we were too
Um,
busy like checking out Natasha.
well,
we
I
didn't care
think
about no kids. They're like, whatever.
He's got
Just
a point.
Well-
next scene with Natasha, please.
that's what we all came there for back in the day. But I think Dustin gets the gold star for this week's episode
Yes.
for best pitch in a while. I've heard here on VCR Redux.
Oh,
So.
hey.
If there are any pitches that we missed out in the chat, I'm sorry. But I feel like there was not a lot of people just weren't pitching today. It happens. We're still glad to have you guys tuning in as always.
As always.
Some requests for license to drive in the live chat. I see. We can maybe
Ooh,
make that
that's a good
happen.
one.
I love Hamster and Feldog more than life itself. So
Yeah.
it's always a possibility to be seeing them soon. Dustin, anything going on at Retrofeed you want to let the people at home know about?
We got Ninja stuff, I think, on its way coming out at some point. So just stay tuned for that.
I'm always a fan of Ninja
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you haven't checked out any of the other docs, swing on by and just give them a check out.
Yes.
You got-
Give them a ring.
You got any more of that ninja stuff?
You got more of them Ninja docs. You
I
sure
got these
do.
cheeseburgers, man. You
Yeah.
got that ninja stuff. Ian, Mickey, anything going on with you guys? Recordings, plays. Ian's back to school. Any films on the schedule for fall students this semester?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
gonna make
we-
him watch The English Patient?
oh, I wish. Oh my
Just
gosh,
to
I wish
piss
I had
you
to.
off. I think.
I did show them the comparison scene today of Battleship Potemkin and the Untouchables. I did do that.
Oh, that's
Thank you
nice.
for
That's
not
a
making him
solid-
sit through the Battleship Potemkin, by the way. Good lord.
I just that
Just the
scene.
scene, yeah.
Just the scene.
Thank
I
you.
don't-
That's
I
all
don't-
you need.
I don't do that. I don't do.
Thank you.
But if you can go to Fandom Spotlight, and it's been a long time. I did take the summer off, but I now have done 2 of the B Movie Challenge reviews. Order of the Black Eagle, a James Bond ripoff that is basically an Indiana Jones movie that made out Species style with BJ and the Bear, and like had a weird neo-Nazi child that kind of popped out. It's a terrible movie, but do check out that review. And just today, we released a B Movie Challenge for John Waters' epic soap opera classic, Multiple Maniacs, where Divine gets on with a lobster. I'm not making that up. So do check out my reviews for those 2 here on
The great
Fandom
John
Spotlight.
Waters is an American hero, and so are you for keeping his work in our everyday lives. Mickey, anything recording wise? Just same old stuff.
Yeah, I think
No
next week.
closer?
Next week, finally, I'll get in there and do my tracks. So
Right on. Well, we look forward to hearing those. In the meantime, you fans might want to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. and we take you out of this world for our Galaxy Quest episode. As always, if there's a particular movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode, let us know in the comment section below. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and follow Retrofeed Radio, Fandom Spotlight, the Hollow Knight Network, and Pop Culture Punk. And if you want to smash that like button on this video, that'd be pretty okay too. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
Oh, we'll see you at the movies. Oh, I want to watch this. Oh, I love that.